We are ready to get started. And
I can't see you. There you go. Yeah.
good evening. We welcome you to the Hampton Roads Black Caucus Connection. This is where our candidates get to meet, go live stream across our social media. And also, members were invited to come out to meet and greet you also. So the way we always get started, we have way we're going to do it is that what we're going to do is always start off in prayer. So if you don't mind, we'll start off in prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you today for allowing us to assemble in your grace and mercy. God, we ask you to forgive us of our sins and our wrongdoing. God, we ask you to bless these candidates that is running for school board, city council, and mayor. God, you know all about it. You know who you want to put. Put those that you want in these seats where they belong. That they are Christ-centered and Spirit-filled. God, we thank you, God. Order their steps in your word, that sin will never have dominion over them. But God, they will be obedient unto you, not to a party, not to a group, but to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who gives life and death. God, we thank you for the food we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. God, bless it and keep us, God, and as we go forth to do your will. Thank you, and God. Amen. Amen. Okay. The next thing we'd like to do is this, let's say pledge allegiance to the flag. It's not here, but we can put our hands on our heart and then say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. The next thing we have a city council member from Hampton. They come to give you greetings from the Hampton City Council. Give them a well welcome. Thank you, Ron. Where do you want?
Right here.
Right here?
Thank you.
How's everybody doing? I've had a lot of potential council people, school board people, current council people, people running for mayor. It's really good. Good to see you. I'm Chris Stone. I'm on Hampton City Council. Yeah, but kind of keynotes here, not a lot. Very happy to be here today representing the City Council. Mayor Tuck and Vice Mayor Jimmy Gray couldn't be here, but they send their best. When the 1865 Brewing Company opened last year, it got a lot of attention as the first Black-owned brewery in the entire Hampton Roads region. How about that? When you look at how many breweries and cideries and distilleries are between Williamsburg and Virginia Beach, it's kind of amazing that it took until 2021 for the region to see one owned and operated by African Americans. Now it's here and it's thriving. And the owners, Billy and Mo, I don't know if they're here, but I've met them several times and I hope they have an opportunity to speak. The Hampton Roads Black Caucus was established in 2012 with a mission to increase representation of elected officials like all of you and all of you that want to be an elected official who are supportive of and will advocate on behalf of the Black community. They support qualified candidates through endorsements and PAC funds. And that history in Hampton continues right up to 2022. Just a few days ago, I attended the grand opening of the Mary W. Jackson Neighborhood Center. Some of you were there. Thank you.
named in honor of a Hampton native who became NASA's first Black female aerospace engineer. All right. So thank you for having me here this evening at the 1865 Brewing Company. Thank you for choosing Hampton to have this function, and we hope our city will always be welcoming place for the Hampton Roads Black Caucus. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Once again, I would just like to, my name is Ron Taylor. I'm the president and founder of the Hampton Roads Black Caucus. And like the councilman said, that we established this to give African American more representation in the political process, increase our economic plight, increase our educational plight, and to improve our communities, a safer, vibrant community. And we look for candidates that support those issues and causes. And that's what we support. It is a membership-driven organization. Every member get one vote. We use an independent consultant to render the endorsements on the process. We don't know. People call me and say, "Did you receive my questionnaire survey?" I said, "I don't know." Did you call the independent consultant? Because I don't see nothing until all the members see it. So that way it's a fair, even process, and no hanky-panky of someone getting bamboozled. Our members get one vote, they get locked out, and they tell us who to endorse. And whoever they tell us to endorse, we stand with our members. I don't care what party it was. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, independent, gay, straight. If our members say stand with you, that's who we're going to stand with. Tonight, if you're not a member, you're welcome to join. It's 25% off. Usually $50 annually. It gives you access and everything. You got some, we give gifts when you join. And so it's $25 tonight. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of our membership, please. Also, I would just like to say this is Nina Francis. She's the vice president of our organization. Some of our board members sitting there regrets they had other engagement. However, one of the things she is the one that does your broadcast. And what happens is you register with her. You can do it from your house or home office or wherever, and you can come to the podcast production office, which is at Gather and Virginia Beach Town Center, and do it from there. And what she does is she advertises for about a week or two that you're going to come on, and then on the day you come on, she'll take questions from your live feed from people in the community, questioning you about your platform. And also, before we get started with our candidates, next Tuesday at MOCA, over down by Virginia Beach, at the down by the convention center, we will have a candidate forum. It is not a debate. It's everybody's going to be there. Some of the supporters like the Hampton Roads Black Caucus, the Hampton Black Bar Association, the Hampton Roads Asian Business Community, the Hampton Roads Urban League. All of us are nonpartisan. No matter what you hear in the community, they can say what they want to, but action speaks louder than words. I had a gentleman to say one thing. I said, "Show me your proof. Show me the money." And he couldn't, because our work speaks for itself. And so I just thank each and every one of you for coming out. This is our last caucus connection for the year. And what would happen here is after tonight, what would happen is everyone should have their surveys in. And what happens is the independent consultant would then send it out to our members. And they would give our members a time frame to vote. Once that time frame is over, it'll lock out. Hopefully everything would be done by Tuesday when we are at MOCA. and you'll start getting, those that are so fortunate to get our endorsement will get that seal of endorsement. And from there, we'll wait until sometime in late October, and we will publish it in the Virginia Pilot twice. So they would know who got our endorsement. And you can use our seal of endorsement on all your literature and all of that, and all your paraphernalia that you put out. Okay? Any questions? Okay, yeah, you can get some food if you want to, grab you something to eat. But our first participant is a young lady running for city council in Hampton, Miss Mayer. Martin, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Tina, you're going to have to say something.
It's great to see everybody here, and want to thank Hampton Roads Black Caucus for hosting us tonight, and also thank 1865 Brewery for having us in their establishment. We love our small businesses in Hampton, and it's great to be here. My name's Martha Mugler. I am a candidate for Hampton City Council. My husband and I live, work, and have raised our children here in this community. I went to Radford University. I have a degree in communications, and my professional experience includes work in higher education, public and community relations, and banking. I currently work for Old Point National Bank, and at Old Point, I am the administrator over Old Point Insurance LLC, the product that we sell to our customers. I am also the administrator involved with our strategic planning for the bank, and she wants me to step back, excuse me. Our enterprise risk management, as well as overseeing our regional boards on the peninsula and south side. So I have a great job. I really enjoy that work that I am able to do. I was elected to the school board in 2008. I served on that board for almost 12 years. 4 of those years, I served as the chairman of the board. I'm so excited to have chatted with several school board candidates here today for Newport News. Always love to talk to school board folks. But during that tenure, I was able to involve myself in a couple of really tremendous projects in Hampton. I'm really proud that I led the way for the partnership with Ford Next Generation Learning and the development of our academies in Hampton. A tremendous overhaul of our secondary education. And it has been award-winning. We are the only school division in the Commonwealth that partners with Ford Next Generation Learning for these academies. Also, while I was on the school board, I was involved in launching our one-to-one technology initiative, where we put a tablet, a now Chromebook, in the hands of each student from grades 5 through 12. So really important work. That particular project was really aimed at equity in our school division to make sure that all our children were on a level playing field. I have also served in the Virginia House of Delegates, and during that time I served on the Education Committee, the County, Cities, and Towns Committee, and the Finance Committee. During my tenure in the General Assembly, I'm sorry, I'm stepping forward, so sorry. While in the General Assembly, I was appointed to a number of really tremendous boards and commissions. I served on the Fort Monroe Authority Board of Trustees, as well as the Southern States Energy Board. And my favorite was service on the Growth and Opportunity Board, which is also known as Go Virginia. It's an organization that looks at regionalism, projects that are regionally cooperated in, and workforce development oriented. So that was the experience I had in Richmond, and I really loved that opportunity. For Hampton, I've got 4 particular issues that I'm interested in working on. I'm going to make this quick because I've got a meeting, and it's my own meeting, so I really shouldn't be late to it. But for Hampton, really passionate about reducing violent crime in Hampton, and I'm interested in getting behind our police, ensuring that their salaries are appropriate, and that we are looking at that issue as the complex issue that it is, and that we are including supports for mental health agencies, for social work, for support of our families, and really really creating a situation that will help us to reduce crime in Hampton. While I was in the General Assembly, I was able to obtain an $800,000 grant that we brought to Hampton, and it is being used specifically for youth violence prevention. So very passionate on that issue. In addition to crime reduction, I'm also passionate about coastal resiliency and flooding mitigation. And we'll do all the things necessary to support those efforts. Hampton already has a very extensive program to address our resiliency and really look at ways that we can enhance our living shorelines and reduce the flooding that we're having in our city. And we've done Dutch talks and other kinds of collaboration with NASA research to really find the best ways for us to work with the water that we are living with in Hampton. In addition to coastal resiliency, I'm also interested in making sure that we are supporting our education. As a former school board member, I know how important it is to partner with our city and making sure that we're producing the best education product that we can for our young people. So I'll leave it at that. I thank you very much for having me and inviting me to participate tonight in your meeting. And if you live in Hampton and you're inclined to vote on November 8th, or if you early vote, which starts tomorrow, I'd be honored to have one of your votes. Thank you so much.
So there's an uptake in gun violence among the youth.
Yes.
What are your ideas on how to lower that?
Well, I talked a little bit about that when I was speaking, but it is an issue with our youth and it's not just youth, but we definitely have a significant issue among our youth. And it's getting programs out there and available to our young people, making sure they know what the resources are, that we are looking at mental health, that we are ensuring that young people who are in crisis have access to mental health. It's also about building up our families and encouraging our families to wrap around their children and their young people, and creating situations where we really embrace the family and help the family to embrace their young person if their young child is in crisis. So those are my thoughts about that initially. There are lots of programs available to young students to find conflict resolution and find peaceful ways to resolve conflict. And those are the kinds of directions that we need to go in.
I'd just like to thank one of the sitting delegates of Hampton, dear A.C. Cordova. Thank you for your presence. Give him a round of applause, please. Okay. Would you like to say a few words?
So thank you, Ron. I'm going to keep this brief. Anyone who knows me knows I am very brief, but I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming out, support the Hampton Roads Black Caucus. As he said, it is truly a nonpartisan organization. They really only care about the best candidate to support and help the African American community. As many of you know, I'm the first African American to ever represent this district or Pocosin in any capacity under governor. So it's truly a blessing, just as he talked about. This establishment being the first Black brewery. It's incredible that it took till 2021 when I was elected in November for someone to represent this district, which is in a majority minority city. But we're moving forward, and and the Hampton Roads Black Caucus is the reason that we're moving forward. So thank you, Ron. Thank you, thank you guys for coming. And I'm gonna get out your way.
All right, so we have Dr. Terry.
I have to be that far back. Can everyone hear me? Can I get a thumbs up? Yeah, something. All right, good. Hey, I'm Terry Namkung. I'm running for Congress, which is the 3rd district. Includes Hampton, Newport News, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and which one? Norfolk. Sorry about that. So I'm running for Congress. I'm a retired Air Force veteran, did 21 and a half years in the Air Force. I'm a local retiree from Langley Air Force Base. I have an MBA from Auburn, a doctorate in business from Temple, and I worked at the Pentagon as the Air Force Energy Manager. And the reason why I'm running for Congress is because of the fact that I feel that the country needs unity. So I feel like I could bring the unification at the federal level, but at the state level, we have a lot of issues that we need to tackle. Number one, crime. We need to make sure that we reduce crime. Number two, bring jobs back to this area. As an Air Force energy, renewable energy expert, I know how to bring jobs and projects back into this arena. And last but not least, we need to work on Title I school programs and make sure that it's robust. And I totally and wholeheartedly support school choice. So one of the things that I want to convey to you all is I just turned 45 July 16th. Bobby Scott's been in Congress for 30 years. And guess what? He went into Congress when he was 45. So it's divine design that I am your next congressman. So tomorrow is early voting. We've been communicating with the masses out there, even you all in internet land, and we need new leadership. We're tired of the bureaucracy, and we want to make sure that just because this area is majority minority, that we don't look away, but we bring back money, funding, and also leadership back to the district. And I'm going to fight for you just like I fought for this country and for the Constitution. I just want to say, God bless Hampton, God bless Virginia, and God bless America.
Question. So, as you know, Dominion Energy has went up in price. Lots of us are kind of cash strapped by that. What are your thoughts? How do you help us?
Well, to be honest with you, energy is a multi-dimensional approach. I believe in hybridization, utilizing renewable energy and also utilizing oil and gas technology. And that's what I've been pushing when I was at the Pentagon, to utilize hybridization. You cannot just cut off oil and gas and expect renewable energy to just take over. All right, there's policies out there that they want to electrify the fleet by 2030 and go net zero by 2050. We can do that, but the thing is, the people have to want to adopt it, and also the technology has to be available and technicians to install those items. So we need to be fiscally responsible. I'm an energy expert, and I could definitely reduce your gas, energy prices, and everything that has been going on with the inflation, because I also have business background in economics and business, period. So that's my question. I mean, that's my answer. And tomorrow, early voting, I need you all to come out and vote early.
Thank you. All right, Jordan Gray. School board.
Back here? Ready? Okay. Somewhere back here. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be out here and with our folks online. It's always a good thing. I did 2 years of virtual teaching, so I'm pretty good with online game. I keep a lot of my students entertained and ready. And so I have experienced that firsthand. So thank you to those joining us online. But my name is Jordan Gray. I'm a proud public school teacher running to be on our school board in Newport News. And I'm looking forward to being one of the first teachers on our school board in a very, very long time. And I think it's important to have a teacher's voice on the school board. I think it's important to have an educator who understands what our kids are going through and who deals with the parents every single day to understand what we can do to fix the crisis we're in. And I say we're in a crisis with our education system. The pandemic over the last 2 years has sent us way back. I mean, when I say way back, we're looking at some scores that are detrimental. Math and English, we are way, way behind around the world, and we're falling. It's not getting any better. And I think that's because we have a lot of people in our school boards that just have no idea how kids learn. And when they go to make decisions, they don't think about, well, wait a minute, we live in 2022 and we're still teaching like we're living in the 1980s or something. And so that's important for me. It's why I'm running to get involved and get out there and to make sure we give that voice back to our parents and back to our teachers and things. But I'm running for the basic principles, right? The first thing we've got to do is invest in our children. I say that it's important that we invest in the kids that we have by giving them better after-school programs. Bring in our business partners in the community and have after-school programs that teach them trades and other things. I think every child, boy and girl, ought to know how to change the oil in their car by the time they graduate. I mean, these are things that children need to know. And also, just basic skills, how to balance a checkbook and other things. And our business partners can come in and help us with that activities and that. And we're going to see investment. I think we need to pay our teachers more. I think it's time to give a true pay raise to those teachers that deserve it, and not just give bonuses out willy-nilly to just attract people. We need to reward the teachers that have done the hard work and to make sure that we continue investing in them each year and reward them for the good work that they have done. So don't punish them by giving $5,000 to $10,000 bonuses to new people. Give those bonuses to people who've worked here for years and years and years and keep performing at the top of their game. And we got to work on overall school safety. Newport News Public Schools experienced 2 school shootings in the last year. It's a shame. It's a shame that we saw 2 school shootings when we should have seen none at all. And I know that you can't stop everything, but the reality is, when our leaders were called on to answer that problem and figure that problem out, they couldn't even be found. The lady that I'm running against, she wouldn't even show up at the school after the incident took place. So that's something that's very serious to me. It's a very serious matter to make sure that we address and get it done with our safety. I'm in the classroom every day. I care about safety because guess what? I have no way to defend myself other than lock a door. So we need to focus on safety, and we can invest in metal detectors and other programs and special training in our schools. We already have it. Let's start using it. You know what I mean? Let's start using it and keep the kids safe because it matters. Safety matters. And lastly, I think it's time we look at our curriculum. Newport News has about 70% of its schools accredited, and some of those accredited are by conditions. I work in Hampton Public Schools. Hampton City Schools is 100% accredited, 100% accredited, and there are not any conditions on that accreditation. And I think Newport News, I have got a little pride for my home city, right? Newport News can do better. And I think it takes a teacher to get us there. I think that's why I got in this, because I understand how our kids learn. We got to look at the curriculum. You know what they say the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years in Newport News. It's time to change it up. It's time to look at that curriculum and really be innovative. Because obviously what we're doing in math, especially English, and God forbid when I mention civics, when we can't even get less than 15% of our city to pass a civics test and know who their elected officials are, we are in dark shape. I will tell you that. We are in a dark place in Newport News. So we've got a lot to fix. I'm proud to be that teacher running. Help me out. Go to my website, greatforschoolboard.org, Again, that's Great for School Board. You can follow me there. Like I said, I'd be proud to earn your vote on November 8th, and early voting starts tomorrow. So get out there and let's make sure we make a change in Newport News. Positive leadership, positive change. We got it.
Question. So, around Virginia, we seem to have a problem with the special needs children and their learning. What are your ideas on improving it?
So the question was, in Virginia, we have a lot of problems with special needs or students with disabilities, and how we're addressing that. Well, you know, the age-old thing in education was put them in a classroom on the other side of the building and lock them away. That was what the idea was for our special needs students, and that was wrong. Because a lot of our students with autism and ADHD and all these problems and disabilities, they're not problems, they're disabilities. That means that they have a challenge. It doesn't mean they can't achieve. It means they have a challenge. So what we need to do is we need to find ways to better introduce those students into our classrooms and to give them better services. For me, as a classroom teacher, I think we ought to look at investing in an instructional assistant for every single classroom in Newport News Public Schools. I think the money is well spent. And I will tell you, as a teacher who just got an instructional assistant for the first time this year, this is the first time in my entire career I have somebody helping me. It's making a difference because I can focus my attention better on the students that we have. And I think we can have it. I think we can train up a force of people that will go in. And guess what? When you got a classroom with 25 students, maybe 30, in Newport News, I hear the classes are going up to 35 this year. That's insane. 35 high school students in one classroom, and you wonder why you have security problems. But the reality is, if we had two adults in there, and one was an assistant and could help out, it'd save a lot of problems. So I think we can invest money in those areas better training. And by goodness, I mean, look at the opportunities we have for focusing on that. Better use of our money from the federal government, too, would come in handy.
Awesome, thank you.
All right.
Next we have Chris Bowman. Bowman. Oh, you already did.
Oh, that's right. No, I should have marked it off. Randy's not here.
All right, we got Stephen Ferguson. Come on in.
How are y'all doing this evening? First of all, I want to say thank you to 1865 Brewing for having us, welcoming us for the event. The food's awesome, great. Thank you to the Hampton Roads Black Caucus for hosting the event here at 1865 Brewing. So a little about me. My name's Steve Ferguson. I've lived in Newport News for several years. I'm a business owner. I've spent 25 years in the fire department and public service. I feel like I've been called to help rescue a city that needs rescue. We've been traveling down the wrong direction for several years, and we need to change the direction. Currently, today, we're big government, little citizen, and we need to change that to big citizen, little government. We need to change the way our city does business with business. Currently, today, the city of Newport News is not business friendly. They put hurdles and roadblocks continuously to new business, to entrepreneurs via codes and compliance, permitting, zoning, etc. We need to change that. We need to have small business toolboxes and somebody with the city to walk new businesses, to walk relocating businesses through the process. We need to lower our taxes in our city. Newport News has the highest tax rate in Hampton Roads. That discourages not only businesses from moving there, it has discouraged citizens from moving there. We need to have safe city. We need to invest in our public safety, our police, fire, and EMS. We need to make sure that salaries are competitive and they're the highly trained and equipped to deal with all emergency situations that could come in front of them. We need to have safe schools. We need to do better for our children. We need to have single point access. We need to have door buzzers to be able to, who accesses that? And then we need to recruit teachers. Currently, Newport News has the highest teacher shortage in all of Hampton Roads. There's 270 teacher vacancies currently in Newport News. We have to do better for our kids. Currently, Newport News, we are underutilizing the infrastructure that we currently have. We have an underused airport, we have an underused port, and we have underused rail. We have to invest in our current infrastructure to be able to promote that. These are just a few things that we need to change the direction of the city. I thank you for your time. Please go vote. Early voting starts tomorrow, City Hall. Register, if you're not currently registered to vote, you got to register by October 16th. Get out and vote. Thank you.
How we support economic improvement in African American community?
Well, that is a multi-pronged approach. First of all, we need to tackle it in our education system. We need to introduce trades back to the school system. We need to have internships with HVAC, electricians, plumbers, masons, all the trades. All of us aren't built for college. We need to give opportunities for our kids to do something in the summer to start that progression. Internships, apprenticeships, to help facilitate the trades. We need to have a strong workforce development in our school system. Newport News school system has the only aviation department in Hampton Roads. Pilots, y'all all seen the pilot shortage. We need to enhance and increase the aviation thing. Economic development, we need to make sure that public-private partnerships and there's grants and public funding for entrepreneurships, for to be able to generate small business alliances, to be able to help people that have an idea, that we can make sure that small business is culminated to give opportunity for every citizen to be better tomorrow than they are today.
Andrew. Yeah. All you.
Good evening. It's pronounced lava check. So just a lava and then just a check in the box tomorrow for early voting. And on November 8th, that's what we want because we're running on safety for our public schools. I'm running for school board in the North District in Newport News. And we want safety because, as Jordan Gray said earlier, we had 2 school shootings last year and the school board did nothing to change any of the safety and security for our students. That's unacceptable. Take 15 seconds out of your day, ring the buzzer. This is free. Have the admin staff say, what's your name? What student are you here for? And come straight to the front office. That's 15 seconds of your day to keep you and your child safe and everybody else's children safe. I think we can afford 15 seconds of our day to keep them safe. What these students learn is super important. We don't teach cursive anymore in school. How many of our founding documents are written in cursive? All of them, every single one of them. So if you can't read it, you can't write it. And if you can't write it, I'm pretty sure you can't read it. So let's start teaching cursive again. Let's make people proud of their signature. Don't rely on somebody to translate something for you like the Declaration of Independence or the Emancipation Proclamation. You need to be able to read those on your own. And then lastly, I want to be a voice for the parents. Right now, you go to Newport News School Board and you talk and it's falling on deaf ears. You got nobody listening to you. So let me be your voice. Tomorrow through November 8th, I want to work for you. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum.
A lot of African American children seem to be getting suspended instead of people trying to find out what the problem is. They'd rather just suspend it. What are your ideas?
So in Newport News, we have programs that allow students to get free mental health counseling. After the shooting at Menchville High School, where the Woodside High School student passed away, they provided free mental health counseling for all the students at that school. I think mental health is a huge thing with children that does not get addressed enough, and it needs to be addressed. We don't give our children enough of the mental health help that they need.
Chris Matthews? Chris Matthews?
How's everyone doing tonight?
Hey.
All right, my name is Chris Matthews. I'm running for Hampton City Council. I'm a veteran, a father, a husband, and I came to Hampton in 2009. Hampton welcomed me with open arms, and I have not wanted to leave since. I'm running right now because I see a big gap in our adults as leaders and youth. Right now, we're not setting the example for our youth. We're not showing our youth how to live, how we interact with the world, how we interact with our environment and each other. We're not doing our jobs. So I do my effort. I volunteer. I put my feet on the ground every day. I'm in my community talking to people. I'm in my community cleaning up. And right now, I'm working with the Virginia Peninsula Student Veteran Association at Virginia Peninsula Community College. And we're starting a youth program where we're going to have mentors as veterans and tutors working with our youth, 8 to 12 years old. We want to catch them before they may split off from the straight and narrow. These are the people that we need. Veterans right now with their experience, their life, these are the guys that can help our children become better people for tomorrow and work for our community. This right now is my big focus. Secondly, we're working on business. We have extreme potential with downtown Hampton, Beavis, Coliseum Central to attract so many businesses out here that can support our community. We need good jobs. We don't need jobs that aren't careers. We need careers to come into Hampton. We need everyone to work for something that they care about. So these are my focuses right now. Thank you very much.
Question. So, there seems to be a lack of transportation throughout the entire city. What are your thoughts on it?
Public transportation. Right now, the bus stops that I see, the HRT bus stops, oftentimes aren't well advertised, well focused. They don't have covering. They don't have light. There's not a whole lot of reason for somebody to want to sit at an HRT bus stop if they don't have to. The first effort would be in making our HRT bus stops compatible for everyone to use and use every day. The second need we have is to create more bus stops in neighborhoods that need them, that have the traffic but don't have the transportation, and to create more time slips for them. Thirdly, I'd say the app needs a lot of improvement. There's an HRT app that if you go on Google and you look at the reviews on that app, it's poorly reviewed and not a lot of people get a benefit from it. So we could greatly improve the app and serve our community better.
Thank you. Next up, Nakia Miller.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So my name is Nakia Miller, and I want to bring you greetings from my city. This is my city. I was born here. I've been here all of my life. I did what most Hampton Roads girls do. I threw a rock and I hit a sailor. And now 17 years and 3 children later, we are doing great. I am a glutton for punishment. I decided right now I have a junior in high school, a 5th grader, and a 1st grader. So, like I said, I'm a glutton for punishment. I am running for Hampton School Board. We have heard many people talk about the things that Hampton City Schools is doing right. But there are plenty of things that Hampton City Schools is doing wrong. And that's why I'm here. Anytime that you're informed by other individuals that the superintendent of Hampton City Schools is discussing you in new teacher orientations, you must be doing something right. I am, like, as I said, I am a Hampton City Schools parent. I was previously a super volunteer, and I did what I'm supposed to do. And I called Hampton City Schools and the Hampton School Board to text, because that's what we're supposed to do. And our parents should feel empowered to be able to do that. Our parents should know when school board meetings are in the same way that they know when there's been a COVID exposure. Our students, yes, Hampton City Schools is 100% accredited, but there are holes. There are safety holes. When it comes towards informing our parents about safety issues inside of our schools. I can speak on that because I was one of those parents who had a student who was victimized in a Hampton City school. And that comes from non-supervision because our teachers are stretched thin because they are overcrowded classrooms. It comes from our administrators being afraid of letting our parent population know when something's wrong and something's happened to our children. And it has to do with our community being in a position where they feel that they are serving Hampton City Schools versus the opposite, which is Hampton City Schools should serve our community and educate our children so that they can be our future leaders. The things that I'm running on, number one, as I've stated before, I'm running on safety. As my colleagues have spoken before, we have regional areas that have had school shootings. We've had sexual assaults in schools. We have mental health breakdowns when it comes towards our children, and they're not being addressed by the school system. They're not being addressed by, the city of Hampton. They're not being addressed all around. And when you have that, you have children who feel that they have nothing to lose. That turns into adults that feel like they don't have anything to lose. The second thing, I am a SPED parent, and I believe that we need to equip our parents when it comes towards the IEP process. Going into an IEP meeting with my oldest was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. When you go into a room with a panel of people that are telling you what's wrong with your child. I believe in establishing a parent liaison program so that when new parents who are new to the child study process are identified, they're paired with parents that have been through the child study process so that, number one, they know the questions that they need to ask, and number two, they don't feel like they're alone. I did not have that. I believe in making sure that our children feel like they are supported in learning environments. As I said, I am a product of Hampton City Schools. I graduated from Kickingham in 1992, but I was terrorized as a student in Hampton City Schools. The time was different, and when it came towards identifying when bullying and harassment was happening, that was not something that HCS dealt with. Yes, the times have changed, but we still have to move the needle so that our students feel supported, so that our children feel supported, and that they don't have to worry about having to deal with the extra of being harassed and not being able to be the best students and the best people that they can be. I also believe in transparency. Hampton City Schools loves talking about themselves. our superintendent and the current chair of the school board, who is also running for election, love to, just embrace themselves in public relations and marketing. That is not what's important to our schools. What's important is making sure that our children are educated, making sure that our teachers feel supported, making sure that our parents feel part of the process, and making sure that our community is engaged with our education. Anything else that you want to know about my platform, feel free to visit www.nikia.com. Hampton has 3 seats up for election, and there are 4 people running. I'm the only woman, and I'm the only non-incumbent. So I'm the only person that does not think that Hampton City Schools is great and that there's nothing to improve. So I want you to give me a chance, please, out of the 3 people that you have to select tomorrow through November 8th, please choose me. I am ready to serve you, and thank you so much.
So as you may know, there's quite a teacher shortage. What are your ideas on how to recruit more teachers?
Okay, the question was, what are your ideas on how to recruit teachers? Well, like Jordan Gray, I actually am extremely supportive of, increasing the number of teacher assistants that we have in our schools. Right now, we have to be in a position to where we have teachers that are trained in order to educate our kids. The one thing that I repeatedly see across, most school districts is that there's a shortage of teacher assistants and there's a shortage of bus drivers. And why is it that we can't come up with new and innovative ways in order to possibly train, people to become teachers assistants with the CDL, and then assign them, because we have plenty of buses, but no bus drivers. Then assign a teaching assistant to a school, assign them outright to that school, give them a stipend to be able to drive buses, and then make them benefit eligible. Because that's one of the reasons why we don't have those 2 positions. It's because they're not benefit eligible. And that gives us when we have those new and innovative ways to try to fill the gaps in, ways that our teachers feel supported, then the teachers that are coming out of schools, the teachers that are looking for different opportunities are going to want to come to Hampton City Schools. It's not all about a bonus. It's about making sure that individuals who are educators want to be in the classroom, and they feel supported by the administration to be able to do their job in a safe capacity and in ways that can reach our children. So if we can just think outside the box, you can't recruit in 2022 the way you recruit in 1975. We do that, and then Hampton can recruit the best and the brightest of our region and of the Commonwealth, and we can continue to thrive.
Thank you. All right. Marlon Pendergraft.
All right. I got to stand on this right here. All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. All right. Let's get some energy going on in here. Everybody had a drink? Everybody full? Let's get this party started. All right. Like you said, my name is Marlon Pendergraft, and I'm running for school board here in the South, not here, but in the South District of Newport News. And I'm running because we dealt with a whole lot of bullying going on with my daughter. And I actually started this journey in 2020. And unfortunately, during the COVID, it did not work in my favor. So we're trying it again because my daughter had some issues and it wasn't being addressed. So I said, I'm going to be the change, and I'm going to be the person that be a voice for those kids that are going through the same issues my child went through. I am a lieutenant here, in the Newport News Fire Department. And I also have one son that has graduated from the Warwick High School in June of 2022. So I'm super excited about that. So I actually met my wife at Ward. We've been married for 18 years, and now our kids are going to Ward High School. So this is all full circle for me, and it is very exciting. I'm also running on transparency and accountability because we need to hold not only our city officials, but our kids and our teachers, everyone accountable for their actions. I do believe that we can do this. We can do this as a team because it takes a community, it takes a school system to raise these kids. And unfortunately, right now there's a division between our school system and our community. So we need to bridge that gap and get back to the basics of what we need to be doing. And that's education and safety for these kids because they not only should have it, but they deserve it. And I am going to be that person that's going to fight for these kids, get rid of the politics within the school system. I want to bring back just the basic foundations of education and safety. Let's get back to basic arithmetic, basic reading and writing, because right now we have failed these kids because they're coming out of high school and they can't even read or do basic reading and writing or fill out an application. So with that being said, I'm a big component for trades. I appreciate kids that want to go to college, but there's not a whole lot of attention for those kids that want to become plumbers or welders or HVAC technician. So I'm a big component of that. Whether you want to go to the military, I'm going to be there. So one of the things I promised in my first 90 days is, because I am a firefighter, I work 10 days a month. Doesn't matter if you serve lunch, you drive a school bus, if you cut grass, I'm going to go and work with you for an entire day. I'm going to find out what the needs are in the school system so I can build that relationship and actually work from the ground level. I'm also going to substitute at a different school every month. I do have the qualifications to do so. That helps because we have over 200 teacher vacancies within our city, and then we're actually leading the Hampton Roads area. With that being said, looks like everybody, we probably got a few more people to go. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Marlon Pendergraft, and I'm running for a school board here in the South District of Newport News. And I look forward to your vote come November 8th and your support tomorrow for early voting. Thank you.
Diversity, inclusion, and equality are some hot words nowadays.
Yes.
How do you think you can make those a reality?
Now, you said diversity. Repeat the question one more time.
Diversity, inclusion, and equality are some equality.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting words that people are using right now.
Yes.
And they're real pretty. But how do you think you can make those a reality?
So the question was about diversity and equality and how can we make this possible? First of all, if we got to have a conversation about diversity and equality in 2022, we have failed. Right now, there's so much division going on, but we're focusing so much on what's going on in DC. We need to be focusing on the kids within our school system, and it shouldn't matter what color, what religion, it doesn't matter. We need to protect these kids and educate them and include them. We just need to give everyone an opportunity to show us what they can do. So with that being said, that's the best way I know how to do it is just give everybody an opportunity at the table. If we have some kids that are having some issues, let's help them up. Let's bring them up. We're all one team in the city of Newport News, and we need to be one team, and we need to stop this exclusion and this diversity issues that's going on within our school system. We need to fix it, and we need to fix it now.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Miss Tina Vick, Councilwoman.
Good evening, everyone. I just first and foremost want to thank the Hampton Roads Black Caucus for allowing this event today so that we can all meet and greet and share our platforms. I am Tina Vick, and I am running for the mayor's seat for the city of Newport News. I have served on our city council for 14 years, and 4 of those years I served as the vice mayor. So I've also worked with the school board and all of our city departments to be able to have collaborative efforts to keep our city moving forward. What I stand here so proud of today, I don't know if most of you know, but our city, people run in different districts. So for the last 14 years, I represented the South District. And I can tell you in 2008, when I first got on council, I was running mad because of all of the code violations in our city. We didn't have access to a lot of services. Our area looked so, the lower part of the district looked so dismal. But I can stand here proud today because now when you stand at 25th and Jefferson Avenue and look upward, it looks so much better. Instead of all that unsightly wiring that was hanging down before in '08 and the poles leaning, giving us an appearance of despair, now you see nothing but new black lampposts. We put that wiring underground. We have the offices of 2, 5, and J. We have our Brooks Crossing development. We even have our own grocery store, Piggly Wiggly. And we are, so I just have to tell you that my excitement about being the South District representative, of not just talking about what I can do, but actually having it come to life. When I ran my first campaign, I ran on increased economic development, continued safety for our children and our schools, and support for our schools, as well as affordable housing. And I'm proud to stand here to say that I've been able to spearhead 3 housing developments in Newport News. Our Heritage Forest Apartments, mixed income, our Brennan Point, which is so beautiful on West Avenue, and I'm sorry, not West, Ward Boulevard. And so, and our Nolan Green, which is an adaptive reuse of an old building. So I just feel so happy and thankful about my accomplishments. The things I want to do as mayor, as the next leader of this city, we need good governance as the mayor. As most of you know, our current mayor is retiring, so the seat is open. But what I would love to do, first of all, we have to make sure that we have better communication from the mayor and council. Right now, that does not exist. And we need to, I can't even imagine you being a CEO of a company and you don't know your main players on your team. So we have, that's one of my first priorities. Also, to continue with our attracting businesses to our city, but also as we are still recovering from the COVID, to be able to have ideas and work with development to support our small businesses, because a lot of them are struggling. And even in our city that I have helped govern, we have people, property management groups who are somewhat harassing our small businesses about collecting rent and things when they had to close down. I think that is a shame for us to even allow that in our city. And so that's one of the things I want to do. Also, I want to create some mayor's roundtables or advisory groups, particularly on parenting. I want some professionals at the table, some everyday people, because every time a youth is in gun violence situations, youth, particularly what sticks in my mind, one in Hampton, a 14-year-old out at 2 a.m. with a gun. My children are adults, and that's one of them right there, my daughter. But I can't even imagine looking on the news, and now I do have a 14-year-old grandson, 15, but seeing them out at 2 in the morning. But every time it comes on the news, people blame the police or government, and we never look at the home. I believe that that's going to be the solution to helping us with this crime. I think our parents need help. They're afraid to come and ask us. And really, when you look around in the community, there's very little help for parents, people that need help with parenting. Another thing I want to do is, I got my mayor's roundtable on looking at our waterways. You know, as a city, I know, Steve, you think we should cut the taxes, but I don't think we can, because we have to make money for the services. But I do believe, Steve, what I do like is that we can figure out ways to generate additional revenue. And we have all this water, and all we can do is sit and look at it. Huntington Park, you can kind of swim in there, but usually it's on notice for bacteria. Newport News Park, you got the paddle boats, but we've got to bring some vibrancy to our waterways. I've gone to Myrtle Beach, San Antonio, and they have water boats. They've created life on the water. And guess what that does? That makes people want to come to the area, because people are not going to just want to come and go out to eat. People want to move around. Now they've got hang gliding in Atlanta at night in the area. They got a Ferris wheel going on every day, every night. That is the thing. We have to stop thinking small and think bigger. And that's what I want to do as the next mayor of this Newport News, to be able to think bigger, because I don't think we can cut taxes right now, but I do know there are ways that we can get together, put our heads together. I want to work so closer with the council, meeting at least once a month with my council members, because we've got to improve the communication and improve the communication with our school board. It is ridiculous that the city council and school board members fighting, and it's on the news. We can't, the two governing bodies cannot conduct business like that. That's absurd. And so those are the things I want to make sure I do and work with my council. And for me, if you want to contact me, of course, you can see Tina Vick on Facebook. I do have some cards here. And also, just call me, 757-751-2933. You know Ron's got my number. He calls me about everything. So thank you. And I need your vote on November the 8th. Question.
So, seniors are having a more and more difficult time when it comes to healthcare. What are your ideas about helping them out?
Well, we in Newport News already, we have a great organization called they're actually having a conference, Peninsula Agency on Aging. And so they already do a lot of service, especially with the Meals on Wheels for people. There are some people who really are reliant on that. So I do know they do have some challenges, but in Newport News, we do have a solution, because I tell you, Bill Massey with that Peninsula Agency on Aging, they operate above the top and they take care of our seniors. As a matter of fact, at the Hampton Roads Convention Center, they're going to have a conference either the 4th or the 6th, really doing, seeing what they can do for seniors. But one of my ideas too, what I don't understand about our city that we've got to get a better handle on, just like the lower part of my district, we stop investing in areas as far as codes enforcement, and we wait until it goes all the way down, then try to find money to build it up. What I want to do as the mayor is help sustain our communities throughout our city. I don't know whether I can check with our city attorney. Do we look at our general fund budget to see if we can designate $1 million to help seniors with their houses, because and partner with Habitat, and there's also this City Serve organization, because we can't keep doing the same thing, letting areas go all the way down, then try to build it up. What my efforts are is sustainability. And if you sustain, it's less costly, and the fact that our people are living longer. We really have to get to the table as a city, because people are living longer, and they can't do the same things they did when they were younger. So let us figure out, can we take a specified amount of funds from our general fund budget to be able to help, and also partner with places like our Peninsula Agency on Aging.
All right, so that was our last speaker. Is there anybody else that we missed? Did we miss someone? No? Awesome. So I need people to be aware that we're about to send out those ballots. So if you have never received an email from us, nothing, because I just sent one this week. So if you've never received any emails from us, please contact us. HRBC at HamptonRoseBlackCaucus.com. You can hit us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just let us know, because that is how the ballots are coming out. Once we start this ballot process, once we end this ballot process, it's too late to say, I never got a ballot. Because we use the email address you gave us when you registered. So if you gave us a bad email address when you registered, now's the time to fix it. We would love for you to get your ballot. We would love for you to make your choices. We are not in the habit of excluding anybody who is a member. And now we have our president.
Good evening. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out and supporting the Hampton Rose Black Caucus. Remember our platform. We are here to support Black businesses, to help the Black community in economic growth. We're here to improve our community, create a safe community and a healthy community. Also, we're about giving more representation of African Americans in the political process. The other thing is to improve our educational plight, improving it. Make sure we have all our youth get a solid education. Also, tonight is half off for membership. Only $25. And also, remember next Tuesday, the 22nd, we are having Vote 2022. We are partnering with the Southampton Rose Black Bar Association. We are partnering with the Hampton Rose Asian business community. We are partnering with the Hampton Rose Urban League and many others. So come out to see us at Mocha in Virginia Beach, 6 o'clock. So come out and visit us. And also, I'd just like to thank each and every person for coming out here tonight and supporting our cause. I would like to thank my wife for support. I'd like to thank our volunteers, Miss James, who always at our caucus volunteered her time and service. But as all those say, like Elizabeth Taylor told her eighth husband, I'm not going to keep you long. And that's all, folks. Yeah.